Israel, bringing you truth or traditions. Today, I'm again honored to share the word of the Most High. And who is this Most High? Yah, the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that therein is. Yah, the only Redeemer, the only Savior, the only lawgiver, and the only judge of Israel. Notice what it says in the scriptures. Let's go to Isaiah 33 and let's look at the 22nd verse. I believe that's where I want us to begin and focus our attention to. That is Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, and we're going to start at around the 22nd verse.
Isaiah chapter 33, verse 22. For Yah is our judge.
Yah is our judge. The only one that we're going to have to judge us is the Most High. Not the Seventh-day Adventists, not the Jewish race, not the rabbis, but the Most High is the only judge of Israel.
Yah is our lawgiver.
All of our laws was given to us by the mighty one of Yaakov, the Most High. He is our only lawgiver. And when he gave us the laws, he made us a peculiar people, a holy nation, a special people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the face of this earth.
Yah is our king.
Yah is our king, and he will save us. So again, the only Savior of Israel is the Most High. Today I'm honored to bring forth some questions that we have on the internet pertaining to day and night. And we're going to read these questions, and we're going to ask you for your opinion on each and every question that we read. And we hope that you desire to call in and give us your reasoning, your understanding on these particular scriptures. But again, before we get into our lesson, we will again bring you another beautiful song from our CD by the 12 tribes entitled, Did I? Shalom, shalom, shalom. Again, Moreh Elisha Israel of the House of Israel, bringing you truth or tradition. And if anyone would like to join in this discussion that we're going to have tonight, dealing with some questions that we have arranged on day and night, please call 513-961-8002. We want your comments. Well, the other day, the Most High inspired me to write some questions that he wanted me to deliver to our people, something that would make them think, because he knew the condition that our people were in, and he wanted us to think. So he inspired me to get these questions together. And I want to extend these questions to you to get your input. Whether you're right or wrong, we want you to give your comments on your understanding on these particular scriptures. We start off with the first question, and the question is, if a day starts in the evening when it becomes dark, then when does a night begin? Now, why did the Creator inspire me to ask that question? Because the Creator knew that day and night are totally two separate, different entities altogether. They have two different definitions. They have two different periods. And there's two different times in which they come out. The Bible talks about the season of the day and the season of the night. And the Creator made a covenant with the day, and he also made a covenant with the night. And he knew that they were entirely different. So the Creator knew that if his people are running around here teaching that day is night and night is day, and that a day begins in the night, and when there's night, there's day, the Creator wanted me to ask this question. If a day starts in the evening, when it becomes dark, then when does the night begin? That's the first question. I want you to think about that, and then we're going to come back to them. The second question, and you can find these questions on our internet, houseofisrael.org. That's all. Just go www.houseofisrael.org, and you'll find the question. But I'm going to ask you these questions tonight. The second question, at 12 o'clock midnight, is that the middle of the night, or is that the middle of the day? In other words, many people say night starts at night and the day starts at night, and they're totally both maintained and they coexist at the same time, totally in an integrated state, coexisting at the same time, day and night, even though they have two separate definitions. They have two separate periods. There's two separate seasons for the day and night. Again, our people are told that a day starts at night. So therefore, the question must come to you that at 12 o'clock midnight, is that the middle of the night, since the day is a night? Or is that the middle of the day? Or is it both? We would love to hear your response on that. Number 3, when the Holy Scriptures speak about the break of day or the dawning of the day, such as in 2 Samuel, the 2nd chapter, the 33rd verse. We want to have you turn there so we can look at that. 2 Samuel, the 2nd chapter, the 33rd verse. We want you to read that and tell us what it means to you. And we're going to read it to you. 2 Samuel 2:33.
And they-
2:32 rather.
And they took up Asahel and buried him in the sepulchre of his father, which was in Bethlehem. And Joab and his men went all night, and they came to Hebron at break of day.
Did you hear what that said? My question here, but let's read it. Said, and they took up Asahel and buried him in the sepulchre of his fathers, which was in Bethlehem. And Joab and his men went all night. Notice it didn't say they went all day. It said they went all night. All meant the entire, the whole, the complete night. They went all night, and they came to Hebron at the break of day. So my question is, when the Bible, the Holy Scriptures, speak about the break of day, is it indicating that this is the beginning of a day? Or are they indicating that this is the end of a day? Right now we have a phone call. I hope it's pertaining to the show, and we're going to go to it for a moment. Shalom.
Hello, may I please speak with Miss Alicia? Yes, girl.
Yeah, speaking, but are you calling in nature about our program tonight?
Yes, sir.
All right. You hear us, and this is Alicia Israel.
Okay. This is Myrie James with Auto Vantage Gold, and I'm calling with a special offer for Privacy Guard members, including an emergency.
I thought that was somebody about the program, but that's somebody about selling cards, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, we was disturbed. I thought somebody was calling about the program, and it seemed like they wanted to sell something instead. But we're going to read that again. When the Holy Scriptures speak about the break of day or the dawning of the day, such as in 2 Samuel 2:32, are they speaking about the beginning of a day, or are they speaking about the ending of a day? Now that answer seems quite self-explanatory, so I want you to look at it and call in and comment on it. The fourth question is, was the sun made to rule over the day, or was it made to rule over the night? And if the sun was made to rule over the day, then how can a day begin at night when the sun is not ruling? We'd like to know the answer to that, especially from the great Kohanes and rabbis and the elders that are in our listening audience. We want you to inform the people about this. Number 5, the Creator said many times throughout the Scriptures that he divided the day from the night, or the light from darkness. Question: if he divided the day from the night and the light from darkness, when did he put them back together? And please give scriptures. We need scriptures on this, please. When did he put them back together? Number 6, in Numbers 11:32, it said that the children of Israel gathered the quails all that day and all that night and all the next day. And again, with the word all coming from complete, full, whole, total. So the whole day they gathered quails. That means until the day ended, all that day. Then they said they also gathered quails all that night. All that night. Now, was that day, that night, maintained at the same time? Were they doing it together, or was it 2 different periods? Said all that night and all the next day, they gathered quails. So my question is, how many days and how many nights did the children of Israel gather quails? Number 7. In Leviticus, the 7th chapter, the 15th verse, it says, the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offering for thanksgiving shall be eaten the same day that it is offered. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. Notice it has to be eaten that same day that it is offered. Then it said he shall leave none of it until the morning. Well, I thought the morning was part of all the days. But here it's saying thou shalt not leave any of it until the morning. So the question is, does the word morning in this verse indicate the morning that is connected to the previous evening, or the morning that is connected to a new day altogether? We would like to get your response on that, as well as another verse that's in the book of Leviticus, the 22nd chapter. And we're going to go and read that, Leviticus. And I have that verse in parentheses, so you can just read it on your own anyway, because it's saying the same thing, even though in many of your scriptures, in many of your Torahs, it reads a little different than it originally should read. And I'm going to tell you what this old devil did. So we're going to read it first. We're going to read the 22nd chapter, and we're going to read the 29th and 30th verse of the 22nd chapter of Leviticus.
And when ye will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto Yah, offer it at your own will.
Offer it at your own will.
On the same day it shall be eaten up.
In other words, the Creator says, again, letting you know the similarity in his sacrifices. He said, it shall be eaten up the same day that, on the same day it shall be eaten up. Ye shall what?
Leave none of it unto the morrow.
It said, ye shall leave none of it unto the morrow. Well, the word morrow means the next day. But in Hebrew, that's not the word. They put the word morrow there. The original word is morning. So what it should be saying, and many of your Torahs are corrupt and show you that the pen of the scribe is in vain. It said, on the same day it is offered, ye shall leave none of it until the morning. But they substituted the word morning and intentionally put morrow there. I just wanted you to know that. Let's go to the next question, which is question 8. In Exodus, the 13th chapter, in Exodus, the 18th chapter, 13th verse, it states, and it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning until the evening. So the question, when does tomorrow begin? In the evening, the night, or in the morning? When does tomorrow begin? Furthermore, we go right to number 9. According to Exodus, the 16th chapter, and I'd like to comment, this is the verse that first woke me up, that first let me know that the Almighty Sabbath day is not what I originally thought that it was. This is the verse that I was awoken on. Let me read it to you. We're going to start reading, and we're going to read the whole verse to you. We're going to start in Exodus, and we ask the question, according to Exodus, the 16th chapter, the 22nd to the 25th verse, When does the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yah begin? In the night, the evening, or in the morning? So let's read this and let you think about it. We're going to read Exodus, the 16th chapter, the 22nd to the 25th verse. I hope everybody have it now so we can read it together. Yes.
And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for 1 man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moshe.
Let me give you a hint before you start reading much further. If you read the whole chapter, you'll see that the manna, the bread from heaven, did not come in the afternoon. It did not come in the evening. It did not come at night. But this bread came every morning. And as it began to get hot, it melted. So they had to get it up in the morning time before it began to get hot. So I just wanted you to know that it was only on this day. And then we read the 22nd verse again. It said, and it came to pass, on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for 1 man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moshe.
And he said unto them,
And Moshe said unto them,
This is that which Yah hath said.
This is that which Yah had said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yah. Tomorrow. So we really want to know what tomorrow is. I know I did. When I seen this, my eyes shot right up. My ears stood straight up because I was very curious. This is the first verse that I read where it says, tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yah. So I wanted to find out what tomorrow meant. And not only in the language, but in the scriptures, what was tomorrow referring to? And so I studied these scriptures here very diligently. And of course, I didn't have to study it long before the answer was just brought up because it popped right up. And I want to see if it's popping up to you too. It says, tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yah.
Bake that which you will bake today,
Bake that which you will bake today,
and seeth that you will seeth,
and see it, or boil that which you will boil.
and that which remaineth over, lay it up for you to be kept unto the morning.
And that which remained over, lay up for you to be kept until the morning. Until the morning. Why in the morning? Let's keep reading.
And they laid it up until the morning.
In other words, all they did is laid it up until the morning. Until the morning.
As Moshe bade. And it did not stink,
It did not stink.
neither was there any worm therein.
In other words, the next day when they woke up, it wasn't stinking. And they didn't wake up in the evening. They didn't wake up in the night. They woke up in the morning. And it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein.
And Moshe said, Eat that today.
Eat that today. For today is a Sabbath unto Yah. Today ye shall not find it in the field. So when were they saying that's a Sabbath to Yah? Were they telling them to eat the manna that night? Were they telling them to eat it that evening? And then were they declaring that today is a Sabbath unto Yah? Was that the evening they said? We want you to think about that, and we want you to be true to yourself. Because until you are true to yourself, you cannot be true to anyone else. So regardless what your teachers are saying, the Creator said the leaders of our people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. So you are responsible for your own soul. And one day the Creator is going to make you accountable for what you're hearing this night, what you're seeing, and what you're doing when you lie to yourself. So the question again, according to Exodus, the 16th chapter, the 22nd to the 25th verse, when does the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yah begin? Does it begin in the night, in the evening, or does it begin in the morning? Be true to yourself. Number 10. If a night is considered a day, then what did Yah mean when he said that he caused it to rain for 40 days and 40 nights? In other words, if a night is considered a day, then why didn't Yah just say he caused it to rain 40 days? Since we would automatically know that a night is part of a day, have you ever read where the Creator said it rained 40 days and 40 mornings? Have you ever read where it said it rained 40 days and 40 afternoons? Have you ever read where it said it rained 40 days and 40 evenings? No, and you would never will. You will never see and put with it because we know that a morning, the afternoon, and the evening are part of a day. So therefore, he did not have to mention them. But he mentioned night because night is not part of a day. Night is totally different than a day. That's reading it said it rained 40 days and the word and mean an addition. In addition to raining 40 days, that it also rained 40 nights. So the question, if a night is considered a day, then what did Yah mean when he said that he caused it to rain 40 days and 40 nights? Need you to answer that for us. Give scriptures, please. Number 11. If a day starts when it becomes dark, then why is darkness always pertained to as night and never pertained to as day, except when it is speaking about the day of Yah's wrath? See, the darkness was always called night. And who called it night? If we read the book of Genesis, the first chapter, the 4th verse, notice what Yah said in the first chapter, the 4th and the 5th verse.
And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness.
So according to Yah, he see things different than the Jewish people. He see things different from the Seventh-day Adventists. The Almighty see things differently than our people that have learned the ways of the heathens. The way our Creator sees it, he said he separated the day from the night. He separated light from darkness. Read that again.
And Elohim saw the light, that it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day.
And that's what we see day all through the scriptures. I never looked and seen daytime where it was called the night. And I never seen a nighttime where it was called the day. Except when Yah's talking about the day of Yah's wrath, when he's going to take away the light because of our disobedience, and when he would punish the world for their disobedience. Other than that, a day is a day and a night is a night, isn't it? Also, we're going right to number 12. And if you would like this literature, I'll be glad to send it to you. Just call area code 513-961-8002. And I have some booklets on night and day that I will send you, and it would cost nothing. All you have to do is show a desire. And let me say this. The shame, it's not a shame in not knowing. It's never a shame in not knowing anything. The shame is not having a desire to know. The Creator said, an ox knows his owner, and as his master's crib. But my people don't know. Israel will not consider. And that's the shame. When you won't even want to consider. When you won't look at a subject objectively. And I would mind you that those of you all that got a gripe against Brother Elisha, you're not rejecting me. When you don't accept the words of the Most High, you're rejecting the Most High. You're not rejecting Elisha. Elisha is just his servant, just bringing you what the Creator has given him. Let's look at verse 12, or number 12, should I say. In Genesis, the first chapter, the 5th verse, where it says, and the Creator called the light day and darkness. We're going to read that. Read the 5th verse. So I have a question in this 5th verse.
And Elohim called the light day.
Elohim called the light day.
And the darkness he called night.
And the darkness he, Yahweh, our Creator, the mighty one of Jacob, Yah called the darkness night. And then in Hebrew it said, there was evening, there was morning. One day. So the question is, in Genesis 1 and 5, does the word day mean light, or does it mean light and darkness? That is the question we need you to answer. Now we get into number 13. This is very serious, and I'd love you to turn your scriptures with us to the book of Job. The book of Job. We'd love you to go there because it's exciting. Notice what it said in the book of Job. We're going to go to the 17th chapter, and we're going to read the 8th to the 12th verse, because there are some questions that I would love to ask you from those verses. Notice what it says in Job 17th chapter, the 8th to the 12th verse.
Upright men shall be astonished at this.
Upright men shall be astonished at this.
And the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite.
And the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrites. That's what the innocent men are going to do. Stir up himself against the hypocrites.
The righteous also shall hold on his way.
The righteous man shall also hold on himself. We wonder what's happening, that this upright men, the innocent men, they're all astonished. They're all upset. They're all stirred up against the hypocrites. And one way you know a hypocrite is a person that will read what Yah says and then say it means something else. That's being hypocritical. They will read the very words of the Most High. They will read where the Most High called the light day, and they'll turn around and say, Yah called the darkness day. Is that a hypocrite? Well, let's finish reading.
Verse 9 again of Job, the 17th chapter. The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. But as for you all.
But now he's talking to another set. We see that the The righteous man, the upright man, the innocent men, and he that has clean hands are all stirred up against the hypocrites. And then they tell you who the hypocrites are.
But as for you all, do you return and come now? For I cannot find one wise man amongst you.
He's telling them really to try to return and come unto him right now, because the state that they're in, the mindset that they have, he said he can't find one wise man amongst them.
My days are past. My purposes are broken off. Even the thoughts of my heart, they change the night into day.
Hold it here. It said the hypocrites. They changed, not Yah, not the holy prophets, not the righteous, not the upright, not the innocent, not he that has clean hands, but the hypocrites. They change the night into day. So we have a question here. The question we have in number 13, in Job 17:8 and 12, why is it that the upright men, the innocent men, and the righteous men, and everyone who has clean hands, everyone that has clean hands, had stirred up themselves against the hypocrites? And why is it that the people who change night into day are called hypocrites? Why? Well, why are they referred to as hypocrites? That sounds like a lot of my friends and people I know. And we want to know why these great teachers and these great mores and elders are referred to as hypocrites. And then we have another question. If a day always started at night, as our people say that it has, then how could anyone change the night into day if it was already day? That's the question. Then we go to 14. Number 14. According to the words of the Most High, what is the difference between a day and a night? Give scriptures, please. We want to know. And some of y'all say there's no difference. You say that when night starts, the day is started, and they're both there at the same time, simultaneously coexisting, and that they were really never separated in the first place. But we're asking this question. The question is, according to the words of the Most High, what is the difference between a day and a night? Are there any difference? If so, give me the difference between a day and a night to the best of your understanding. Number 15. In Jeremiah, the 33rd chapter, and we're going to read it for you, the 19th to the 21st verse.
Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 19. And the word of Yah came unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith Yah, if you can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he shall not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites the priests my ministers.
All right, we have a question there. The question is, since you heard it read, is according to Jeremiah, the 19th to the 21st verse, said Yah speaks about the evil that he would bring upon the house of David and upon the kingdom of Israel if they broke his covenants that there shall not be day or night in their season. The question, what is the season of the day and what is the season of the night? In the Bible, the Holy Scriptures speaks about the season of the night. We'll read a couple verses for you so that you can and will realize that there is a difference between the season of the day and the season of the night. Because first of all, if there was no difference, the Almighty would never have said that it was. But notice Psalms 22, verse 2. It says, O my Elohim, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and am not silent. So he mentions that he cries in the day, and he also cries in the night season. Well, if a day is a night, why did they have to even mention the night season if it's the same time? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? But nevertheless, our question is, what is the season of the day? And what is the season of the night? For we know there is a time and season for everything under the sun. And since it is, we want you to exert some of your mental knowledge into finding out the difference between the night season and the day season, if in fact there is any. Number 16. Outside of the way that many of you might interpret Genesis, the first chapter, is there anywhere else in the Holy Scriptures that says a day is from evening to morning? Now, why do we say that? According to Genesis 1 and 5, this is where people came up that a day is from evening to evening. They read a verse that said a day is from, read a verse where it said from evening to morning. And I don't know how they equated that from evening to evening. I guess I'll find out one day. But nevertheless, my question is there anywhere else that says to you that a day is from evening to morning? And we will read again, Genesis, the first chapter, the 5th verse.
And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
In other words, in Hebrew, it says, and Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. There was evening, there was morning, one day. So we want to know that if many of you all interpret Genesis, the first chapter, the 5th verse, as saying, in Genesis, the first chapter, you're saying that a day is from evening to morning. My question, if this be so, is there anywhere else in the entire Holy Scriptures that says a day is from evening to morning? We need this information to help us. Now we are going to embark upon reading the last and final question from this questionnaire that we are going to send to anyone that wants it, as well as our booklet on night and day, which is extremely informative to those that have eyes and can see and ears and can hear, and those that tremble at the words of the Most High. But notice verse 17. If the celebration of our Sabbath days and our new moons begin in the evening, when the sun is going down, why will our Creator state that all the Gentiles shall praise his name and worship him from the rising of the sun and to the going down of the same? That means the same sun. Malachi 1:11. Notice what it says.
For from the rising of the sun,
That means when the sun comes out and comes up from the rising of the sun,
even unto the going down of the same,
and that means until the sun has totally went down,
my name shall be great amongst the Gentiles.
the Creator said his name shall be great. They will greatly praise that name. And letting you know it will be in their worship place. And he said, in every place incense shall be burned. In every place his name shall praise. And they shall worship him from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Notice, from the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great amongst the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered. And you know they're not going to be offering in the last days no incense unto Yah on the 5th day of the week. Neither will they be offering incense on the first day of the week. But as the Creator said in Isaiah 66:33 or 23, that from every Sabbath and to every new moon shall all flesh come to worship him. So all flesh means everybody. And everybody that will worship Yah will be worshiping him on the Sabbath day, when they'll be burning incense, and they will bring in an offering to his name, and a pure offering. That means an acceptable offering for my name shall be great amongst the heathen, said Yah. Also, when we read Psalms 113, let's look at that. The 3rd verse, letting you know the whole world, all the nations shall worship our great King Yah at the same time during his Sabbath day. And notice what it says about this.
From the rising of the sun,
From the rising of the sun
unto the going down of the same,
and to the going down of the same sun,
Yah's name is to be praised.
Yah's name is to be praised. And that mean, now, so the question is, if the Sabbath starts in the evening, when the sun has already went down, well, aren't we reading about people praising him all night every place? But he keeps talking about it, he keeps speaking up, and he keeps giving these references. From the rising of the sun and to the going down of the same sun, they should worship me. My name should be praised amongst the Gentiles, amongst the heathens. And everywhere incense shall be offered, they shall bring a pure offering to my name. And also when we look in the book of Psalms 50:1. And we want to know why. If truly the Sabbath day starts in the night, as we have been taught, we want to know why these scriptures here. Notice Psalms 50th division, the 1st verse.
The mighty Elohim,
The mighty Elohim,
even Yah hath spoken,
even Yah has spoken,
and called the earth from the rising of the sun,
and he called the earth from the rising of the sun
unto the going down thereof.
This is how he called the earth forth. He called the world and the earth into existence from the rising of the sun and to the going down of the same. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah, for Yah is righteous. He's revealing his righteousness this day. Yah is speaking to you this day through his servant. He's speaking to you. And he wants you to hearken unto him. He wants you to turn from your wicked ways. Acknowledge your faults. Acknowledge that we have been all brainwashed. We've been all been indoctrinated. And we all have been mistaught. And many of us have been mistaught by our leaders that have been following the ways of the heathens because they thought they were right. But notice what Yah said about who would teach his word. If we go to the book of Psalms, 147, 19th to the 20th verse, it reads,
He showeth his word unto Yaakov.
He sheweth his word unto Yaakov.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and judgments unto Israel.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Notice he has not dealt so with any other nation. And then it says, and as far as his judgments are concerned, they have not known them. So how can anyone teach you something that they never received? And a lot of you all are ready to follow the ways of the Gentiles, the ways of the Edomites, the ways of the Jewish nation over a true servant of Yah that was sent here to bring out these lies and these discrepancies and contradictions with what the Jewish people say and what the scriptures really reveal. We want you to think about it. Next week, we're going to come back and we're going to answer these questions, and I'll be interviewed by a great young man on Night and Day. But right now, I want to hear some of your responses. Even if you don't want to interpret and tell us what any of these particular verses mean to you, maybe you just call in and let us know how you are enjoying the show. Or maybe you just ring the phone and tell us how much you hate our program and what we're doing. Because believe it or not, we'd be glad to hear that as well. So if you want to call in and give any comments until we adjourn our show within a few minutes, we would love to hear from you. And our phone number is area code 513-961-8002. We want you to call in 961-8002, area code 513. We want each and every one of you all that have any comment, have anything to say, to call in and give us your comments, your response, or your rebuttals on anything that we're saying. And we're going to give you a few minutes for one of you all to get nerve enough to just call in to tell us how you like what we're doing or how much you dislike it and how we need to get off the air because it's really doing the Most High misservice. We like to hear that as well. And we'll wait for you a couple minutes before we adjourn our show. And while we're waiting, well, we have somebody calling now. We're going to get some comments from our brothers and sisters. Shalom.
Yes, shalom, Aurelisha.
Yes.
This is Brother Michael. And Brother Michael and Sister Hilkiah, how you doing?
Oh, it's a wonderful. It's very nice hearing from the both of you all.
It's beautiful to listen to your show. Praise the Most High for the show. What I wanted to say was that I can't get enough of hearing about day and night. The more that it's broken down, the more we go into them scriptures, the deeper it gets. And it's very important for us to know the difference between day and night because I do believe that it's relevant to our salvation with the Most High.
Yes, it's extremely relevant.
To say that me and my wife Hilkiah, we support you.
All right.
We praise the Most High for you and thank you for taking time out and being such a great teacher to us.
Thank you, and we appreciate that. Very beautiful because our people don't know how extremely important and vital this particular lesson is. The Almighty said if our people don't recognize his ordinances of the day and night, that we would cease to be a nation before him forever. According to Jeremiah, the 30th first chapter, as well as Jeremiah, the 33rd chapter. And if anybody would like to join us, we have a line open right now. I'd like to hear some other comments, the good, bad, or the ugly from anyone. Please call in, area code 513-961-8002. And if we can prepare ourselves to teach every week and study and prepare ourselves to bring a lesson, the least we expect out of you all is just to call and let us know how you are receiving and how you all are enjoying the show, because we don't take nothing for granted. So we're looking for comments, and nobody's on the phone right now, so we have lines open. A lot of times people say, well, I called and it's busy. It's not busy right now. Area code 513-961-8002. And we want you to call from New York, Chicago, or Columbus, or North Carolina, or Georgia, or from Cincinnati, anywhere. We just want to hear how you like and how you are enjoying the show. We'll give you a minute, and as we're waiting for you, we're going to play another beautiful song from our CD. And we hope you call before the duration of this song is over. Air code 513-961-8002. Yes, it is a blessing. It's a blessing to be a Hebrew Israelite. It's a blessing to be one of the chosen of Yah, a holy nation, separate, peculiar people unto himself. I'm glad I learned too in this short time. Oh yes, we got to live it to the fullest because the Lord is not promised. (513-961-8002). There's no other phone call. We're going to let you go. We just want you to know that we'll be here again next week at 8 p.m. Truth or Tradition. And you can pick up our Monday night program that we have on radio every Saturday at 9:30 in the morning until 3:30 when I come on live. You go to our internet, www.houseofisrael.org. We have plenty of tapes that you can listen to and watch. We have video as well as audio and plenty of literature. Yes, he'll give us the fruit. Until next week, we love you very much. Shalom.